Welcome to my walking video tour to Lafayette Square, New Orleans, to locate my dig site where one of the buried treasure boxes from the Secret A treasure hunt may still be buried. The spot is located right across the street from the famous Gallier Hall and former City Hall on St. Charles Avenue where Mardi Gras festivities occur each year. Let's get started. In the 80s until 1999 our journey would have started at the corner of Preiss Street and Convention Center Boulevard in front of the Rivergate Convention Center. It was here at the Parc de France where the Joan of Arc statue was originally displayed. In 1999 it was relocated to the French Market to make way for the Harrahs Casino now at this location. This statue was gifted to New Orleans by France in 1958. It was here that Preiss may have begun the New Orleans solution with this French connection. Her outstretched arm and hand represents the hand holding the mask on the drumstick in the image. Instead, we will start our journey at the Piazza D Italia, located behind the American-Italian Cultural Center, located at 537 South Peters Street. This would have been a short walk from the Joan of Arc statue. Entry can also be gained at 300 Preiss Street next to the Loews New Orleans Hotel or at 321 Lafayette Street. The immigration theme continues here at the Piazza. Opening in 1978 and restored in 2004, here you will find several more clues found in the image, an identical clock face with Roman numerals matching the clock face in the image along with the mask clue. Architect Charles Moore created the mask fountains in his likeness. Who is the mask of in the image? Many believe the mask image is that of Louis Armstrong, the renowned trumpet player from New Orleans. However, I believe it is a death mask of Mahalia Jackson, a renowned gospel singer also from New Orleans. An image of Armstrong would have made the city too obvious a clue. The Queen of Gospel died in 1972 and her funeral was held at the Rivergate, which attracted nearly 50,000 mourners for over 7 hours. Remember, the Rivergate was the convention center where we started our journey with the Joan of Arc statue, and this is another clue from Preiss for our starting point. At the Piazza, you will also find the Italian Peninsula, or the Boot of Italy, in a water feature. This is important because the upper arm of the newsboy in the image is in this same shape. More importantly, the structures within just may have been used to comprise the New Orleans image. Follow the French connection. Exit Piazza D Italia onto Lafayette Street and walk west 4 blocks to Lafayette Park. Enter the park and walk to the Ben Franklin statue, one of the 3 stand watch, and take notice of his ruffled right sleeve and how it resembles the sleeve in the image. Follow the path to the Henry Clay statue. On his right, you will notice one of the most important clues in the NOLA image, the geodetic stone. Square in shape just like the clock, it also has the lines of latitude that are in the corners of the clock, 29 and 90. Turn the marker on its right side and the numbers are in their respective corners. Turn the marker upside down and the lightened area within matches the lightened area in the clock face and painting. Walk to the front of the Henry Clay monument and look up. Notice the angle of the right arm and shape of right hand. If you flip a photo of Clay to the left, you can see that it suspiciously looks like the shape and angle of the newsboy's arm in the image as well as his hand and pointing fingers. Walk by the Henry Clay statue towards the pedestal that was once the John McDonogh statue. The McDonogh statue had 2 major clues, the young outstretched boy and the little girl. The flower in the upper right corner of the image is the dress of the little girl. The young boy, whom I refer to as the flying newsboy because of his outfit in the image, provides us with several clues, including where to dig. Preiss was paying homage to this area because it was once known as Newspaper Alley as well as providing clues to the proper dig location. As you approach the McDonogh Circle, note this lamp post. This is not the glass top in the 80s when Preiss was here, but it is similar. The top glass shade represents the mask in the puzzle when standing on the dig site. Stop at this post and walk left towards South Maestri Place. The old Soleil College building is located on the corner of Lafayette Street and St. Charles, to the right. Walk towards Lafayette Hotel and stop when you see the fire hydrant on St. Charles. Why the fire hydrant? Because this water feature is the clue for the raised arm of the newsboy in the image. His arm represents the boot of Italy in the water feature found at the piazza. Notice how the scroll work in lamp post top resembles the circled portion of clock hand from image? Line the small hand up, fire hydrant, with the big hand, lamp post, just like the clock hands in the image. Now look over to the corner of South Maestri and St. Charles, where the Lafayette Hotel is located. Several lines in the verse refer to a hotel on St. Charles. Lafayette Hotel is the hotel on St. Charles Preiss was referring to. At the rear of that hotel, the rows of block are 15 rows down to the ground. Now that we are lined up with the fire hydrant and lamp post, look over at the 15 rows down to the ground at the rear of the Lafayette Hotel. Just like the boy in the image, you have to look to your left and eyeball it. It has now become clear that triangulation is intended to solve this puzzle. The namesakes meeting near this site is lining up the clues from Lafayette Street with Lafayette Hotel and Lafayette Square. Below is the clue how to line yourself up with the 15 rows down to the ground. Can you see why this is the correct location? The key to standing on the correct spot from the tree is to take notice of the gap between the tree and the 15 rows down to the ground. This is the most valuable clue for the image and lets us know we are standing on the correct dig spot. Once you stand on the correct dig spot, the other pieces of evidence will fall into place. The fingernail scratch on hand image index finger matches marking in upper tree limb. The V-shapes in wrist match V-shapes on tree trunk base, and hand angle matches limb angle. Turn towards the clay statue and you will see the fingernail chip of the thumb in the stone step area, and how the thumb forms that quadrant of the statue area. This direction also shows the positions of the fingers in the image coincide with the walkways facing that direction. If you look up at the clay statue while still standing on the dig spot, you will see his dropped right arm is the same angle as the number 8 in clock image. The closest lamp post and top shade is the mask on a stick clue. Note how the lighted area of mask makes up the glass portion with its dividers. In 1990, the top shade was slightly different and facing the dig spot. While we are still in Lafayette Square, take notice of the pathways within. They too were incorporated into the puzzle's clock hands. Below is an overhead view of Lafayette Square and how the pathways were used to help me find the correct dig location. Finally, Preiss put in a major clue to show us the correct dig location. This clue is in the flying newsboy's sock. He is pointing to the word dig and the eye is in the shape of an hourglass, just like the pathways in the park. It shows us exactly where to dig, slightly left of center, and this is exactly where my dig spot is located. It becomes clear Preiss used triangulation and a no-men theory, gnomes admire, in the puzzle as the means to the solve. Thank you for taking this walking tour to Lafayette Square, New Orleans. This tour showed a condensed version of my evidence, and I encourage you to check out my complete video solve here on YouTube for a more comprehensive explanation of my evidence for the image, and the verse, and how it led me to this location.